At every one of our eye openers or meetings as we proceed, we're constantly going to keep safety in focus. And we've been doing the tool of the month. That's been something that our safety committee, led by Ron Lacey and several other really active volunteers, has started. And today's tool of the month is going to be the table saw, and Rick Vanhatten is going to share some thoughts on that. Rick?
Good morning. That's quite a tall mountain to climb after Gary. I mean, it really sort of creates a sense of pride and ownership and being part of an organization like this. And I came into the group, I don't know, 5 years ago or so, and have become quite active, as most of you know. But it's really gets back to the people, and you really get back what you put in. So I'd like to encourage that. I'm going to talk a little bit about safety on table saws. And I'm no safety expert. It's a few do's and don'ts, a few attitudes and frame of mind. It's nothing real analytical. But one of the things in the National Institute of Health, 30,000 table saw accidents in one form or another a year. And if you look at the age group up there, it says 50 years old or older, raise your hand if you fall in that group. They're a large group of us in this room. Blade contact is a #1 issue. We're very fortunate with the saw stop technology. We've had a number of Band-Aids and stuff, and we'll talk about why and all that. But they're a great tool, but they're no substitute for safety. Being safe. The table saw doesn't make you safe. It just mitigates impact, is all that does. One of the saw blades moving 150 mile an hour at the tip. You can get from the front of this room to the back of this room, the shop, in less than a second. So everybody respects it. A lot of people fear it, and that can be a problem. You have to know how to work safely. Fear is not safety. So a little bit of that. What I'm going to talk about is that wood stress. A board, is sawed and it's nice and flat and square, or flat and plain from TH&H or Frost or whoever. You cut it. It's in balance as a board when you cut it in two pieces. Sometimes those separated forces cause it to move and close in. That's where a riving knife comes in. Very important tool. And it really helps on kickback, because if that board closes up, the back of the saw catches it, you can throw it up, that type of thing. One of the things I'm going to talk about quite a bit here is thin strips. Do not cut thin strips between the table saw blade and the fence. It's a very common practice. We have ways to do that are not that way. And the other one is miter gauges. Cutting boards that are wide and narrow, crosswise through the blade. You're guaranteed you're going to kick that blade back at that board back in your face. I won't cover that in a lot of detail. Got an example here of kickback. We're going to look at this. Okay, this one, it's just an example. Whoop. Can you make that play, Jeff? This one's a contractor saw. that's what he's doing. Is right in here. There's a little contractor saw, and in the lower center, and just trying to make that play right now. Yeah. Well, okay, it's not critical to this. The video basically shows it's cutting a piece of plywood. It's roughly, I don't know, 18 inches wide or something through a saw. It's a safe operation what he's doing. As he pushes it through, two things are happening. When he gets to the end, he's trying to be lazy and pick the board up so he doesn't have to go to the other side and pick it up. And when he does that, he raises that board up. It jumps up and hits him twice in the chest before he can move. Twice, it bounces off his chest twice. Once on the initial kickback, the recoil, it hits the blade again, hits him again. It left a bruise. Okay, in this room and upstairs and out in the bench room, I'd like to see a show of hands of people that run a table saw and have had a kickback happen to them. Virtually everybody that's run a table saw.
I have been watching the garage door improving.
Yeah. So, but anyway, let's see if we can get this. Okay, some of the rules, just to be safe. No loose clothing, and if it's in the winter and you got long sleeves, roll them up, put your cuffs on, no baggy clothes, no strings hanging off you, because that can get caught up in things. Obviously, safety glasses, hearing protection, if you so choose. Where you stand is important. Do not cut thin strips which are less than 3/4 of an inch, which is the width of this stick, push stick. Push sticks, use a riving knife. Oh, and one of the bold one here in the bottom, a lot of times you see on plywood, somebody has a good sized sheet of plywood and they're running it through the table saw and somebody wants to help them. Do not have two sets of hands on a sheet of plywood when you're pushing it through a table saw. If the one person cannot safely do that with the sheet of plywood, put it on the bench. We've got a track saw. Break it down with a track saw. But do not have help controlling that board. Guaranteed you're going to cause yourself a problem. And push sticks are not sacrificial. We're getting better. This one is about a third sacrificed. Somebody was trying to cut something 3/8 of an inch, a thin strip, and when you put that thin strip against the fence, if it gets away from you, it's going to shoot out the back, or just bad things are going to happen. Nothing good's going to happen. Whoop. Oh, can we back up one? Yeah, there we go. Do's and don'ts. Eye protection. Dwayne has glasses on the green check mark, none on the other. It's real simple. 150 mile an hour, something coming at your face is not a good thought. Hand position. Guaranteed to cut something bad to happen there. On the green check mark, he's about 3 inches. That one would be better with a push stick. Maybe it would be okay, but he's definitely on the one on the left is a problem. Body position, line of fire. Don't stand in front of the gun. The barrel of the gun is another way to think about it. On the left, he's there. Notice the position of the push stick. He is left of center on that board and pushing slightly towards the fence. I see especially new members will put that push stick right on the fence and push clear to the right. By all physics tell you that's going to push the board into the blade. So, put it left of center and you don't have to be severe about it. Thin rips. We have tools on a table saw, thin rip gauges. If you don't know what these look like, get familiar with them where you can cut on the left side of the blade repeatably. A better way to do it is we have a wonderful bandsaw that shows on the right. And it's got a resaw blade in there. It'll cut every bit as good as a table saw repeatably. We have a number of accessories, push blocks, feather boards, a number of things. If you're not familiar with the jigs and tools, get familiar with them. I mean, if you're new and is there a better way to do this? Just ask somebody, because we have Nels has built some really nice sleds that are very flexible and multi-use. Okay, we're going to do a review. I want everybody to look at this slide for about a minute or less and count in your head the number of safety violations on that slide. Okay, I've seen 4. I've seen several fours. I see a 5. I see a 5. I see a 4. Okay, I see a 6. All right, there's 6 on there. Thin rip, that's obvious. Body position, obvious. Hand position, obvious. Safety gloves is obvious. Loose clothes, look at his left sleeve. Okay, we're at 5. 6, you can't really see it, but there's no riving knife in there. So, just a little bit of, okay. In closing, our safety really comes down to your frame of mind most of the time. It really does. So when you're tired, stop. If you're going to make that last cut, that last ski run, that last whatever at the end of the day, reconsider that. Don't move fast. Lou Cordellini and Dwayne Kypress take care of our table saws, and they do a wonderful job. When you see them, thank them, because they consistently are in there tuning them up, addressing issues that come up. Do a great job. One of the Lou's was a helicopter instructor pilot in the service, and one of his sayings was no fast hands. Same thing applies here. Whoop. Let me go back. No fast hands. Another practice that I practice is mentally, when you're going to go reach near the blade, don't be in a hurry. You just mentally say, watch it stop, and then in your head go 1, 2, 3. Then you can reach. Because what that'll prevent you from do is anticipating the blade stopping. You all have time to fix a mistake. Why don't we have time to just be patient and do it right the first time? And maybe one of the more simple things, if it feels awkward, if you're straining or you're getting in awkward positions, it's probably not safe. Stop, think about it, reassess, and move forward. And that's it.